April 27, 1942. Dear Mom, boy, we are having wonderful weather here. How is it there? We all listened to the squeaky door last night. Boy, it was thrilling. When Nelson gets those pictures developed, I want one of M.A. and me walking down the street. Tell Nelson to send me some dope on setting the camera for different speed and light. I have a little book, but it isn't very thorough. Well, today Sam got his questionnaire, so it won't be long now, I guess. Yesterday we went down to Haynes Point again. We couldn't get a bike, so we walked around the point. The herring were swimming up the river near the surface of the water. There was quite a few people who had just a little short line and several hooks. They would pull this through a school of fish, and practically every time they would snag one. The herring always swim up the river in the spring and spawn and then swim back down. Boy, the people down there yesterday, most of them had brought their lunch and had a picnic. Most of the people had these portable radios. Last Saturday after work, Sam and I went down past the President's Church. There was a large crowd standing. There was a lot of these cars that are about a block long and have chauffeurs. Upon inquiring, we found that a big wedding was taking place. There was a lot of photographers taking pictures as the people came out. Boy, the women were all dolled up. The men wore tuxes and top hats. The flower girls were prettier than the bride. The bride was Senator Bacon's daughter. The groom was Winston Churchill, the author's son. You probably read about this in the paper. This week, the Army and Navy Relief Show will be held at the Lowe's Capitol Theater here. They are going to have Eleanor Powell, James Cagney, Bob Hope, Bing Crosby, and many others famous stars. Boy, I would like to see it, but it costs, for the cheapest seat, $5. And besides, I'll be working. If you heard Walter Winchell, you have heard him advertising it. I got me another fantastic book by H.G. Wells. I sure hope I can come home for the dance. I have started to wear my sports shirts. It really is hot here. Eleanor Smith is just as nutty as Barbara Swisher. Herb is pretty near the same. It seems like I'm home. We are all acting a fool most of the time. I have started keeping my diary again. Well, kid, I will shut up for this time. Jim. Mr. Smith does a little business now and then, and he dictates his letters to me, and I type them for him. This gives me a little practice. Everything is still under control. April 29, 1942. Dear Mom, I'm still alive and kicking as hard as ever. How's everybody in the big city? I just came back from taking my films down to get them developed. I hope they come out okay. I also took some negatives down to get them printed. I'm going to take up first aid the next time they have it here. I found out that you can be out 3 days on sick leave without a doctor's signature. If I can't take any annual leave, I will take 3 days off and come home in June. I want to so much. I think I will fly to Pittsburgh and take a bus from there down. That way I can save time, but it will cost more. Boy, I really should write more often, and I will. I will write, Mom. I will write Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Will that be satisfactory? Tomorrow, Kay Kaiser and his orchestra will be downtown for this Army-Navy benefit. It is free, and I'm going to see him. Saturday, Gene Autry is going to be at the Klein Ive Arena. Sam and I are going to see him, we think. I hope Dad is feeling better now. Gee, I hope when I was home, M.A. was working at Isby's. I'll bet all those wolves in Bellaire are trying to date her. I hope not. Find out all you can and let me know the details. I never knew how much I thought of her until very recently. Boy, I wish she were here now. I would love to show her around and take her places. Washington is still a wonderful place. There is some talk of moving us all to New York now. Boy, how rumors spread. 1,000 employees are bound to go, but I don't know about the rest. Mom, you realize that the more often I write, the less I will write each time. But I will try to make my letters interesting. Next week I will send you the pictures you wanted. I am surprising you with another picture I know you will like. Well, kid, everything is still under control. Jim. May 1, 1942. Dear Mom, I have a little good news and a little that is not so good. First, the bad news. The final blow has been struck. We are all going to be transferred to New York City. This transferring will take place beginning June 1st. I am enclosing a letter given to all the employees in the insurance division of the Vets Administration. Please return after you have read it. This new occurrence has made it impossible for me to attend the alumni dance in June, much to my regret. Please tell M.A., and I will also write her a letter explaining my position. I would like to get home before my departure, but I have to save my money to get a room when I get to New York. The government is paying our transportation and paying for us a room for 4 days after our arrival there. Don't worry, Mom. I really hate to go, but after all, this is where my work will be. Say, does Uncle Richard keep roomers and boarders? If he does, maybe we could live there in his house. There will be about 7 or 8 of us boys who are going to room together, if at all possible. I have always had a longing to go to New York, but I never expected living there. Yesterday, Sam and I went down and saw Kay Kaiser. Boy, is he crazy. He played about an hour. I am sending you a picture out of the paper of Kay acting a fool. It was broadcast, but I don't suppose you heard it. How is Pop and Sis? I'll bet the next time I see Sis, she will be walking and talking. I'll try to get home at the earliest possible time. Our leaves have been canceled for another 2 weeks. Boy, I hate to leave here. The people at the doghouse are so nice. Yesterday, Sam and I went to our Senator, Taft, and got us a pass to see Senate in session. We have to see Washington in a month, and that isn't very long. My pass was gone before I got it this time, but I do have a little to show for it. I am enclosing $10. I really hope this helps out, and I will send $10 every day, or payday, I mean. Sam and I are men of leisures and have been for a while. We haven't had any day work for quite some time. Well, kid, take care of yourself and the family. I remain yours until we meet again, Jim. P.S. I am enclosing one of the passes to go into Senate for you for a souvenir. This was obtained from Senator Butler of Nebraska. Undated. Dear Mom, still haven't heard anything about my transfer. Still haven't heard from M.A. I have written her 2 or 3 times. I would like some explanation. I don't hear much from you all either. I now have 5 teeth, or shall I say cavities, filled. That finishes one side of the bottom. I have 5 more on the bottom and 7 on the top. That one tooth I was telling you about, that big one, he says it may have to come out. Today he was drilling it out a little. Boy, it made me sick. It hurt so bad. He said it may not have to come out as he could not discover an exposure. If it does have to come out, I am going to get another bridged in. I said I would write after going to the Major Bowers broadcast. Last night, Eggie had a date to go to the broadcast, so I had to go by myself. I really enjoyed it. You said you were going to listen to it, so I hope you enjoyed it half as much as I did. I am sending you a small pamphlet that I got there, and also the thing that the tickets came in. After the broadcast, I was walking down Broadway about between 51st and 52nd Street, and who should I run into but Eggie, convoying his she-male down the street. They told me that Wirt was going home for a vacation and that they were going to see him off. We had about 2 hours to kill, so we decided to go bowling. Eggy had never bowled before, and boy did he enjoy it. We lost all conception of time, and we had only 5 minutes to get to the station. We got excited and got the wrong subway, and we didn't get to the station in time. Did you get your French phone in yet? How are you feeling? How is everybody? Okay, I hope. Everything is still under control. Jim. May 7, 1942. I purposely delayed this letter pending developments. I found out last night that we leave, or are supposed to be there, the 25th of this month. Not all of the employees are going this time, but I am one that is going. They now have enough typists picked to go. I feel honored getting to go first. There will be more transferred in June. Sam gets to go with me. Gee, that dance is not at the right time. When you find out about the formal dance, let me know. I might, I'm not saying for sure, be able to attend it. But there's nothing certain. But you can rest assured that I will come as soon as I can. Boy, we are really getting to see the East, aren't we? I'm sending a few pictures. Some of them were taken with my new camera. I will mark NC on the backs of the ones that were taken with my new camera. I did pretty good for my first roll, I think. I got a letter from M.A. Say, I saw that Tyson girl. She is about this, and in parentheses has 6 feet broad. She is a crazy looking thing. It is raining here today, a dull, dreary day. Gee, I'm glad you understand about the money. I was going to ask you about it. I will probably need a good bit till I get settled. There is 6 of us boys going together. We're going to try to get an apartment. Boy, I'll bet that will be a madhouse, don't you? Yesterday I got my sugar rationing card. Do you have to get them? Eleanor said for me to tell you she got a vaccination. She is screwy, but very nice, just like Barbara Swisher. I haven't written to very many people since I've been back from home. Please make excuses for me. I have to see D.C. while I can. These pictures of D.C. are very nice. I am keeping one, okay? If you want any prints, let me know. Say, aren't these pictures of the cherry blossoms pretty, especially the close-ups? This will give you a slight idea of their beauty. Tell everyone I said hello. Everything is under control. Jim. P.S. Sam's parents are coming today to see him. Gee, I wish you all would have come before I had to leave. May 8, 1942. Dear Mom, I bet you enjoyed that picture. I really did. We have a telephone here. It is Emerson 4148. The best time to call me is Sunday at around 1 o'clock. It's about time they start making a bigger paper. Is it any better? I would really like to have seen those draftees and the old band out there doing its stuff. I got me a map of New York City. It is just like the map I have of Washington, D.C. The streets and even the buildings are numbered. Boy, if you think Washington is big, you ought to see this. I'm going to get one for you. I will mark on it where we are going to work, and every once in a while I will tell you different things to mark on it. Uncle Richard lives across the river from where we work. As soon as you hear anything from him, let me know. I just thought Walter is up at the Brooklyn Navy Yard. That isn't very far from where we work, so I will look him up. Well, kid, I just am writing. I don't have much to say. I am sending you a clipping. Everything is still under control. Jim. So Danny had to go. Poor guy. May 11, 1942. Dear Mom, Tell me when the formal dance is, the one the boosters have, going to be. I might be able to come, although I don't know for sure. M.A. is really some girl. I only wish I could see her more often. I'm sending you a map of New York City. I have marked on it where we will work and where Uncle Richard lives. Say, have you heard from Uncle Richard yet? That extra picture of Sam and I was for nobody in particular. Saturday night, Herb, Eleanor, and I went up to the Glen Echo Park. Boy, did we have a good time. We rode on practically everything they had there. We went in the fun house. Boy, they have everything in there. They have little kiddie cars. You get on these and ride. Boy, it looks funny. Your knees sticking up in the air, cruising around. There's a little cage with a sign on it saying California red bats, please do not feed. You look in and you see 3 small ball bats painted red. There's a great big tub you get in, and it goes round and round. It goes so fast that a person can stand horizontal on the side and not fall. Oh, we had a darn good time. I've been sort of lonesome lately. Sam has been out with his parents, and I've been out running around by myself. Here's a good joke. 2 little morons got a pony each. They couldn't tell them apart, so one said, I will cut my pony's tail off. So he did so. Then a few days later, the other one's pony got his tail caught in a fence and pulled his tail off, so they had to do something else. So one said, I will knock my pony's front teeth out, and he did so. The other one's pony ran into the barn and knocked his front teeth out. So they were back where they started from. They finally decided to measure them, and when they did, sure enough, the black one was 2 inches longer than the white one. Get it? Yesterday, we went up to the zoo again. This is my 3rd time. Boy, it still fascinates me. Tell Mary A. I would like to have a small picture of her to carry around with me. Well, kid, everything is under control. Jim. Here is the pass. No, Mom, I don't want the pictures back. You put them in your scrapbook, and I will send you more when I can.